Despite the legalization of same-sex marriage in states across the country, coming out is one of the most difficult choices many young gay men and women will make. That was the case for Boston University student James Fluhr, who saw his family network collapse. But rather than wallow in the darkness of it all, he turned to theater, creating the one-man show Our Lady, now playing at New Repertory Theatre. I'm joined now by WGBH News arts editor Jared Bowen. As we discussed briefly last night, you were really, really moved and taken by this. It's quite a feat. It's a one-man show as well.
I was really struck by this. I mean, basically, what the story tells, and I should clarify that he was a Boston University student, and this is when it all began to unfold. He's since graduated, gone on to New York, where he first staged the show, and is now doing it at New Repertory Theatre. But really looking at what happened to him. And he is somebody who grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and when he was a student at Boston University, his father came across pictures of him in drag online and basically severed him from the family. It said to him, who do you think you are? What do you think you represent now to your younger brother? You're an abomination. So he's somebody who really took this around and turned it into this one-man show, which is just brilliant because he's designed the costumes, the scenics, all of the graphics that come into play, not to mention crafting the actual text of the play itself. And you see him as a myriad of characters, from somebody who's just lost his lover to suicide, to a woman a Southern woman who's coming to terms with the fact that her son is gay, to this monster that he wants to confront in terms of all of the hate and homophobia. We have a small clip of the show, and it starts with a heartbreaking scene where he's having this dream where he's reunited with his lover who's just committed suicide. We also have edited together with a piece of the drag performance he does at the end of the show when he finds validation.
Aspen, get over here. Let me see you. It's been so long. I missed you. Hey, why are you staying so far away from me? It's not like we have all the time in the world. We will wake up eventually.
So that was right at the end. He does the...
Yeah, so Our Lady refers to this person that he had to figure out was within him. I mean, he's got sort of two competing forces. One is the monster, all of the hatred that he felt dispelled or tossed his way by his father, the name-calling, the accusations, just the complete diminishment. And I think I had told you that when he was at Boston University, his family severed all ties, including the financial ones. So suddenly he was all out on his own.
So he's not just homosexual. He's one who participates in drag, which is a whole complicated other layer to it, right? And that's part of what he does. Right,
and what he does is he uses this character, Our Lady, to really manifest who he wants to be and how he's protecting himself. And I talked to him recently for Open Studio, my weekly art show, and he talked about basically how he found himself responding once he was rejected by his father and where that comes into play.
Either my life was going to get really, really dark, I could feel myself getting really, really dark, or I was going to cover myself in glitter until I exploded out of it. You only have two ways to go. And I guess, there's a monologue in the show about covering yourself in stone to make yourself beautiful. And so you can forgive the seasons before. By becoming this drag queen and this character, that's how I was able to forgive all the seasons before for myself in my own life.
And did his lover really commit suicide?
No, and what he's responding largely to in this piece, in addition to his own experience, is the rash of gay teen suicides that we've seen across this country. It was interesting. I had said to him, look, same-sex marriage is largely legalized throughout the country at this point, so a lot of people are surprised that this level of hatred would still exist within a family, and he reminded me there are a lot of places where this is still the norm, and even in small families, in small homes, in urban areas, this is still very much the norm, and it's punctuated in this piece by these media reports. Again, it's really genius on his part the way he's constructed the show, but you see all of these media reports, incessant, one after the next, edited together about all of these young men and women who have killed themselves because of bullying, because of rejection by their family.
And you said he still hasn't reunited with his family, especially not his father, but he Leaves a seat. This is really chilling. Leaves a seat in theater every.
It's one of the most poignant parts of the show. Is you, as this is all unfolding, and you realize that he's been working on this for a couple of years. You think, well, have they reconnected? But no. At one point in the show, he gestures up to the top of the audience and says, "And for every performance, I still leave a seat for my father," and it says reserved for Fluhr. It's just incredible. It really has a strong impact. No matter who you are, just as an observer or family member, somebody who may have been through it themselves, it really touches on all levels.
Wow, that sounds powerful. All right, Jared Bowen, thanks for that.
All right.